The name Sam, what does that do to your head? Do we even want to go there? It's just annoying. Sounds annoying to me at this point. Sam. Sam! Samuel!
Yo, Sam.
That's okay.
When I feel bad calling people's names. I feel like I'm
calling them to detention.
Like I'll call Jameson from like downstairs. I'm like, "Yo, Jameson," and it annoys me.
You do it. You'll do it from like 3 floors of a building away.
Yeah,
so you'll like yell it.
Yeah.
But when you hear your name, that affects your personality. So if your name is Josh, and you hear for 15 years, you're being shaped into an adult, and you're seeing people around you. You're seeing varsity football players getting pussy, and you're watching some rich kid getting a cool car in high school, and then everybody's applying to colleges, and the smart kids, they're getting into the colleges that your parents told that you heard name dropped when you were a kid, and you know that Dartmouth sounds like Princeton's a good school. I wish I could go there. And you're hearing, and all you hear every day is Josh, 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 and you look in the mirror and you go, that's me, Josh. I'm Josh. That's gonna do something to your noggin.
Neurons.
And this is a studied thing. This isn't just something I've made up. Now, whatever that does to your head, I don't know. Okay, I'm not here to bash on people named Josh.
I grab my water. Keep talking. I'll love it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Authorized.
But so that's part A of my argument. And then part B is your language. The actual language itself has an effect on what you say. On what you think about your personality. So if you're from one of these fucking parts of the country where they call soda pop, and you're always going around, can I have a pop? Is that? Oh, you have pop? Did you bring the pop? And you're saying shit. You're saying shit like that. You'd probably end up with a diaper fetish. Okay, for all I know. What are some other things they do in these other shithole parts of the country? Kallure. Well, you got a whole nation of people. You got a whole nation of child over the
sea,
over the Atlantic Ocean there, because they call Kallure. Okay, we don't need to get into that. What else do they got? What do they do in America though? They call soda pop. They call Dr. Pepper Mr. Pibb.
Well, no, Mr. Pibb is an entirely different soda.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
Mr. Pibb is a rebranded Dr. Pepper.
It's better than Dr. Pepper.
He doesn't have a medical degree.
Pibb extra. Yeah, he's a everyman.
All right. What are the other things they do?
Well, in the UK or America?
In America. You go to California, you try to hold a conversation with somebody, you probably end up brain damage. What else? What other words though? Like calling soda pop. What else do they have? I know in Pennsylvania, instead of saying y'all, they say yins. Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
People in Pennsylvania talk really weird.
I think that's because they go out into the when they leave the house, they go grab a pile of earth and dirt and rocks, and they eat that. That's what they do in Pennsylvania.
There's different words for like slut. There's like thought, shown. What else?
I'm not talking about this rapper's SoundCloud community.
That's like most SoundCloud community. That's not SoundCloud.
The online community at SoundCloud.com.
Shown is not a hip SoundCloud thing.
I was sitting at a diner. I was at a diner with Charles, and there was a woman.
Flapjacks.
There was a woman. A woman
Hot
came
cakes.
in, and she was picking out what she wanted on the menu, and she said, "I think I'll have a burger." That's Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
That's not.
I'm gonna have a burger. Oh yeah, I'll have a burger with fries. A burger.
Sounds Australian.
No. Anyway.
A burger.
So
I have a burger and a perk.
Coffee.
I have a
coffee.
I take my perk and my Percocet and my coffee, and then I just drive around.
This chair is devastating. I gotta swap this out in a minute.
Dude, that's why I thought that was gonna be my chair originally, because it's like I couldn't picture you sitting there.
So anyway,
Your ankles are touching the floor.
Yeah, I'm doing a move right now. So if you go to Italy, I remember Nick telling me when he got back from Italy, and I've been to Italy myself as well. I was a rich kid. Okay, you never left the country. I've been to Italy. It's okay. But Nick was telling me he went there, and they went to a vineyard, and the guy had his own wine brand that he made. The wine was called It Is, and this guy comes up to Nick. while he's eating, and he goes, "This wine, Mr. Rochefort. This wine, we make it from the finest grapes, and it is the best wine in Italy, and so we simply call it it is." And Nick is not one to exaggerate stories or lie about what happened. And he said the whole point of him telling the story was that the guy said it like exactly that way. Like that's not him exaggerating, making fun of the guy. That's how the guy came out and hit him with the fact that the wine is called It Is. It is. And if you're in Spain or you're in Italy, they roll the
R's.
Yeah, they go rateria, razatetia, ratia. And these people are all assholes. I don't know if you've ever been to Spain or Italy. The people there are assholes. They're contemptible assholes. And I think that has to do with language. I think that's because the flourishy language. If you say you want to get in a car, if I want to go downstairs, I have to go downstairs. I have to open the door. I have to lock the door. I have to get in a car. And to say that, I go I'd probably start having insane fucking thoughts. If that's the shit that's going through my head every day, I'm thinking I have to go to the refrigerator and get myself a drink. And I'm going, you'd probably turn into a fucking freak if that's what your inner monologue sounds like. So maybe that's why they're all fucking assholes. What do they say in France?
I was thinking with the It Is wine, I'd call it the itis. Yeah, I'll get a glass of the itis, please.
You'd be like, can I get a mug of this?
Oh, yeah, I'll get a mug of the itis.
What does French sound like?
I don't fucking know.
I have to close the door, and then I have to empty out the trash, bring it to the dumpster.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
I feel like the East Coast accents are really humbling because they're so like low class and trashy sounding.
I mean, I think that's a double-edged sword because I think these people are retarded around us.
I like that though.
Well, I mean,
bro.
I don't know because that makes these people are bro, actual retards.
She was fucked up, bro.
People who talk like that, you think hash browns is a full meal.
She passed out in my passenger seat.
Yeah, I get that it's down to earth, but these are people who think that
that's down to earth.
Think that hash browns is you feed your kids with hash browns for the day.
Dunkin' Donuts drive-through hash browns.
Yeah, a total. So anyway, deaf people. I never thought when I was donating fucking $400,000 to a black charity anonymously, and I've never bragged about that, and I never need to put my name on that or anything. But anybody who ever says shit about me being whatever, just know that I've donated more to actual black people, not Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter, the money will never get to them. I'm talking about college funds for underprivileged kids, okay? I've donated, I don't know, $550,000 at this point. Doesn't matter. Because it's anonymous, and I don't need to boast about that. But look, I never in my wildest dreams thought that this road of social justice that I live on would take me to the point of deaf people. But I think that sign language is like those other languages. I think that sign language is flourish. It's got flourishes, needless flourishes, embellishments. It's got a curvature and a sensuality to it that it does not need to have to describe ordinary everyday things. Because you look at these people when they're doing sign language and they're basically twerking with their hands. You know what I mean?
I think that's cool.
It's cool for like a YouTube video.
It's like tutting.
It's cool, yeah. It's cool like tutting. It's cool for a YouTube video.
I
don't know if it's cool to what it does in your head 24 hours a day, thinking in.
I don't know.
Doing this shit. But
I feel like there's probably some, like everyone does, it's the equivalent to that. Sure,
but it's not. This is something that's automatic all day long, whether you like it or not. Now look, this all started when I heard a story about a deaf guy who was being really rude at a restaurant, and that's something that I don't personally tolerate is when people are rude to waitstaff, and I think that's a totally classless thing to be rude to a waiter or a waitress.
That's definitely classless.
And this deaf guy, told it was a waiter with long hair, and I guess the deaf guy didn't like that the waiter had long hair because it's not hygienic or whatever. So he told him to use his hair to clean his shoes like a mop, and he said it with such like smug. You have to fight me to I'll go look you like that, like smug attitude. Told him to wipe his shoes with his hair like a mop, because he was mad that the waiter had long hair. I guess it's 2020. You can't have long hair as a waiter. Okay. Anyway, that was my first clue. That was my first like, what? Deaf people not cool? Then I talked to a deaf guy who was a serial cheater, and I get that. Listen, I get that sometimes you gotta cheat. You gotta do your thing. I get that when you're young, you gotta go bust the load out. Okay, but there's a way to do that. It has to be because you're at the whim of this like animal instinct, not because you've got this malicious drive to like reel in as many women into your ring of torment as possible. Okay, some people it's just like you're a fucking animal. You gotta go need it. Okay, sometimes you just need it. Whatever. I think that's more innocent than being this like psychological like puppet master and having fucking 10 girls on a string. I'll marry you. I'll marry you. I'll marry you. So I was talking to this deaf guy, and he was like, I tell them I'm going to marry them and that I love them all. Like bragging about how he not only is cheating, but he has them all like wrapped around his little finger. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Is this deaf guy for real? Do I hate deaf people now? And the stuff he was saying he would say, like that gives me chills. That's what I think about when I see deaf people now. Anytime I see some sign language on TV, I think about some like Bret Easton Ellis character, American Psycho manipulator, going like this. I swear to God, you are my one. I'm telling you, look into my eyes. You are my one and only. I will never. Meanwhile, he's got fucking 12 different chicks that he's banging. I will never betray you or go against you because you are in my heart. Thank you. Okay?
I don't know if that's a deaf thing, though.
Well, I don't know if it's not a completely fake story that I made up as well. But in the meantime, listen. I was getting chills down my spine thinking about this because this guy was like, we were having some beers and he was bragging about his conquest and he was like, no, then I tell them I'm not going to come, but then I come inside them. But then I don't wear a condom because I don't like the way it feels. So I always come inside them, and then I tell them they have to get plan B. You have to get plan B because you are going to get pregnant and the baby won't be deaf. There's no camera here. The baby can't hear. So you have to get plan B. I didn't wear a condom because I don't like how I feel.
That's
So
that's a lot.
So I